Donna here with Sparkle and Sprinkle, bringing you February's Video Kit Club. It is raining right now in Southern California. I hope you guys are all staying safe in these crazy weather conditions happening around the world. I am bringing you perfect weather for this stamp set. This is May Showers by Jan Mayhew. Just adorable. So I cannot wait to share with you all the tips, tricks, and techniques with this month's Video Kit Club. Enjoy, and thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye. Okay, so one of my favorite backgrounds is creating a full glitter background, and we are going to be using the actual card base. If you want to practice this on just a regular piece of cardstock first and then adhere it to your card base, you can go ahead and do that as well. And I'm going to be using the 1/2 inch Tear-ific tape. You can also use the 1/4 inch, you can use the 3/4 inch, or you can combo them if you want and do like every other one a different size. Totally up to you. So I'm going to start with a piece of 1/2 inch Tear-ific tape, and I'm going to go across like so. And then I am just going to continue this out on both sides, trying to make sure that I am going butt up against the next one without leaving any space. So, just like that. Now, if you would like to skip this and not do this step, you can just do a Tear-ific tape border around the outside of your card base and then layer in the rest of your project and glitter the edges up. So that is another option for those who don't want to take the time to do this technique. Okay, so if you noticed what I did with each piece is I kind of scooted it up against the tape preceding it, and before I pushed it down just made sure it was nice and lined up. Now what I'm going to do is peel this guy up and flip it over, trim off my edges, and the cool thing is with your Tear-ific tape, like I've mentioned many times, is you can actually save all of these leftover pieces. Okay, and then you have two tiny little corners still exposed here, and I'm just going to take my scrap pieces. There is one, and here is another. Oops, I adhered that more to the table than my card. There we go. Okay, flip that over. Make sure you don't peel it off. Be very careful. There we go. It might be helpful to use a smaller piece. There we go. All right, now it is completely covered. Now the fun part. So what you're going to want to do next, we are going to be using the 3 different colors. So I'm going to start with Sunny Days. Ooh, yes, I'm going to start with Sunny Days. So I'm going to take the middle one off. And then I'm going to take every third one off. 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 3. Now, if you are nervous about using a lighter color first, you can always use your darker color first and work your way out from there. I'm kind of thinking back and forth which to do. I think that's what we'll do actually. So we're gonna go ahead and start with Blue Lightning. Always working on the fly. And because I'm using the dark one first, I'm gonna try to just keep my glitter in those little pieces, and then you're gonna burnish on. So take your finger tool now and really burnish heavy. 1, 2, 3, and then that one, and that one. Take your glitter resist brush. Okay. All right, so I'm going in a circular motion, and that helps lift the static up off the backing of the tape. You can also use a Swiffer duster between the stages. Just be careful not to push too hard, because on top of the glitter, it is going to, let's see here. Okay, so if you do it, make sure you're just doing it over the tape and not the glitter, because it's going to scrape at the Swiffer and all those little particles are gonna end up inside of your glitter. That makes sense. It's so fun to just say glitter over and over again and just hope that you guys understand what I'm saying. Okay, good enough. Remember, this is a background, so if you have a couple of tiny little imperfections, no one's gonna see. Next, we're gonna do mermaid. So every 3 again. There we go. And I lifted a little piece of my tape up. Burnish. Oh, it's gonna be so pretty. And mermaid is very similar to another color we have. It's just opaque. So it's similar to ocean. Ocean is just the semi-transparent version, and mermaid is the transparent version. And the reason you want to take off as much glitter as possible of the backing of the tape is because the static, when you lift up the backing, pulls the glitter onto the adhesive. And that's what the awesome glitter resist brush is for. Okay, so now we are down to one color. Let's clean up our little area before we pull out our really beautiful yellow. All right, new coffee filter. Oh, I just love it so much so far. I hope you guys enjoy this technique. It's a really fun one to do. Thanks for being patient on this month's Video Kit Club. Peel that off, peel that off. And because this is a lighter color, you might want to just use a little bit, and you might not want to put it back into your jar if it gets contaminated with a lot of the darker color. There we go. Okay, take your glitter resist brush and just give that a nice good wipe. And there is your super cool background for our card. And now we get started on the other fun stuff. All right, so next we are going to add some embossing powder and some sparkle to our die cut of our boots and flowers here. Now, not the die cut, I'm sorry, I take that back, the digital stamp set. So you're going to obviously be receiving the rubber stamp set, but you're also going to be receiving the pre-cut and colored digi stamps. So these were sized a little bit smaller, if you can notice that the boots are just a little bit smaller, which was nice because then we have more room for our raindrops in the back. So basically, just to create a fun little splatter background, I am taking the brand new super thick embossing powders, and you're going to be receiving two different colors. You're going to be receiving the dandelion clear and the black clear, and these are brand new. They have not been released yet on our website, so you are the first to be receiving them and using them. So that's pretty fun. Keep that from underneath. Guess it helps if you guys could see. All right, and then if you want to add a little bit of the black clear, you can go ahead and do that too. I've done so many fun things with these two color combinations that I've already got half of a jar done on both of them. Crazy. All right, and then I went ahead and I want to round the corners on this. And of course, the week I want to use my corner rounder, I cannot find it anywhere. So another little trick, this is a 1-inch circle punch. I'm just gonna go ahead and stick it through the bottom. So if you don't have a corner rounder and you have circle punches, you can do this as well. And I actually really like the way they turn out. It's a nice corner rounder cheat trick. All right, and then what we are going to do is take our glue pen. I'm going to use the Quickie Glue pen for this. You can also use the Smooth Precision pen. And I am going to take my coffee filter, and I am just simply going to go around all my flowers, the pink ones and the yellow ones inside here, the Gerber daisies and the cherry blossoms, which are so pretty inside the beautiful yellow rain boot. And once you've added all your little bits of sparkle, you're just going to come in with your Sunny Daze glitter. And because this is a semi-transparent, it is not going to appear yellow over the pink. It's going to have more of like an orangey color. Oh, and look at, I even missed my Gerber daisies. Ha! So I'm going to go back in. See, you're not the only one. We all make fun little mistakes, but not really a mistake. That's not a mistake. That's totally fixable. Just like that. So now we've got a cute little amount of sparkle inside. Now you have options. You can take your dimensional glue, which I have hiding, and you can fill in the inside of your boots and then let that dry overnight, and you have a nice glossy boot finish. And I wanted to show you my glue, but you know what it looks like. All right, so next I am going to take my stamp set and we are going to get the raindrops. So these little raindrops here, I'm going to go ahead and put them on my block, line them up. Since it does have a straight line, it'll help if you have a grid work that has some lines on it so you can see exactly where you're stamping. And we're gonna set that there. And I'm gonna take my raindrops and we're gonna create a background. So you don't need to cover the whole thing. We're gonna do it about a 1/2 inch in and like a 1/4 inch around the edges. And I'm gonna do my raindrops coming in at an angle. And if you just kind of hold it the same, then your angle will stay the same while stamping. And sometimes that's just impossible to do. You could, if you wanted to be super particular, you could put it on a stamp platform or a stamping positioner, but I'm not going to be that picky. It's rain. It's all over the place. There we go, almost done. And voila. All right, and now all you need to do is take your Firecracker blue embossing powder, sprinkle that on your background. And now I didn't use the static free bag on this because it's okay if there's a couple little bits of glitter or embossing powder because it's rain, so it doesn't have to be totally perfect. I also went ahead, I did use my static free bag here and I stamped out my saying and embossed it with the Firecracker blue, and I used the Enjoy Every Moment. There's 3 different sayings on this stamp set, so you do have a couple different options, which is really nice. You've got the beautiful flowers are in your future, enjoy every moment, and thanks for brightening my rainy day. So really cute. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and heat set. And everything is melted, which is great. And now I have my background, and we are gonna create fun little corners using our embossing powder. So I am simply going to take a piece of scrap paper, and I am going to take my black clear, I'm going to do a good amount, and I'm going to do our dandelion clear, and they are so pretty together that they make for really fun background paper or just border, or you can even stamp in it. You'll see. You'll see. Heat set from underneath. You can push it around. You could spread it out a little bit more from heating on the top once it's fully melted. And then let that cool, and I simply cut it into little border pieces. So I'm gonna go ahead and frame my raindrop paper with these borders. Okay, a really cool feature that I'm gonna show you with using your super thick clear that we're gonna incorporate on this card are you can create your own enamel dots, and they dry in seconds. So really cool. Once the hot embossing powder is cooled, they're nice and dry and they will never flatten out. These are like hard bits of plastic. So completely creating your very own enamel dots. And you want to make sure you check out all the new colors of the super thick embossing powder by Sparkle and Sprinkle. They are just gorgeous, especially for the spring. So to get started, I'm just going to pour a big pile of embossing powder. And this is the black clear, which has a really cool gray finish to it, and heat from the bottom. Now, because I have such a huge pile on here, it's gonna take a little while longer to heat. All right, once you've done that, you are gonna come and heat it from the top and pour your drips. And I am working on the really cool mat by Tonic Studio. This craft mat makes it so these will just pop right off once they're dry. So check that out. And there is how you make your enamel dots. And if you wanna do teeny tiny ones, you can do smaller drips. Uh-oh, I'm almost out of powder. Just like that. There we go. And once they completely cool off, make sure you don't touch them until they're cool, you're gonna have a nice hard little enamel dot that you can glue onto your project. And the last thing that we are gonna do is create, well, not the last thing, there's still a few more things. I added my 1/8 inch Tear-ific tape. That's the really skinny one. This one here, the 1/8 inch, really pretty, really delicate. And I'm gonna pull the background off, and we are gonna do it's up to you. You can do the darker blue, the lighter blue. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the mermaid. It's so pretty. And burnish that in. All right, and that is gonna make for the backdrop. And I am simply going to add all of my different adhesives, and we are gonna start assembling, and I'm gonna show you a couple additional tricks coming up. Okay, to assemble your card, what we are gonna do to start is attach your blue cardstock with your very heavy rain coming down hard. It's been crazy weather.
I love you, Dane.
And I'm gonna go ahead and attach that right there. And I'm using the Tear-ific tape because the Tear-ific tape will stick to the glitter. You wanna make sure you're using a strong adhesive. And then I also stuck Tear-ific tape on both edges here so I can apply our fun little corners that we created with the embossing powder. And I did that one nice and crooked, so I'm gonna rip it off and do it a little straighter. Oh, there we go. So fancy. I also cut these by hand, so they're not actually very straight to begin with. You know how it is. Okay, and this one. There we go. And then I'm going to take the background we have here, the beautiful rain boots. And like I was saying earlier, you have the option of using your dimensional glue if you want to give your rain boots a glossy finish. So what I did here, you could see I just went ahead and filled in just where the rain boots were. And you could see that, there it is, you could see that glossy finish. And I also did it on my bow. So either with the bow, you can leave it just the way it is, or you can give it that glossy finish, or you could take your glue pen and come in with some glitter highlights. It's really up to you, however you want to do that. All right, and next I'm going to apply my stain. And I'm going to stick that right there, like so. And this guy right here, perfect. All right, ignore my family talking very loud in the background. I went ahead and stuck some Tear-ific tape on the back of this one, and I used all of my scraps from when we did our border. And then last, I am going to stick on my bow. And where do I want to put this bow? Oh, and then we've got to stick on our, we've got 2 more things to do. I think I'm just going to go right there, actually. There is our bow. And then for our fun little dots that we made, you're going to make sure you have your glue pen. I swear I have just hidden everything from myself. And what I'm going to do with my glue pen here is I am going to just squeeze out a little bit adhesive, make sure, oh good, it is ready to go. And this dries clear, and I am using my Smooth Precision glue pen. And I'm going to take just a couple of, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 right here of the enamel drops that we made with our embossing powder. And the cool thing, like I said, those dry right away. It's probably a little bit easier without fingernails. You can also use your jewel pick. There we go. Just like that. 1, 2, 3. And you have your completed card. Thank you guys so much for watching. I wish you all a very safe February. Hope you guys are having a great 2019. Hope you learned a lot of tips and techniques. Make sure you're checking out all of our weekly technique videos by our fantastic designers, Beverly, Michonne, and Jess. Thanks for stepping in and sharing your amazing talents with our fantastic customers. Thank you guys. Subscribe, share, like. Bye-bye.